Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Fred Brown Stadium, where tonight the Wapakoneta Redskins in town to take on the Defiance Bulldogs in a WBL contest. I'm Dan Hirn along with Paul Sadler. Paul, a couple of teams that come into this game, both 3-1 inside the WBL, so this is a critical game looking forward.
Yeah, both teams are tied along with Salina at 3-1 in the Western Buckeye League, and after tonight only one of them will remain with one loss in the Western Buckeye League. Both coming off really big wins. Wapak with a tremendous, exciting win last week over Salina, and then Defiance was able to shut out the Ottawa Glandorf Titans 20-0 last week.
Bulldogs are 3-2 coming into this ball game, ranked 6th in Division III, Region 8. They are the third ranked scoring offense in the WBL. They will face off against this Wapakoneta team, who is the second-ranked offense in this WBL. So we have an opportunity to see some scoring tonight. Now, the scoring for the Bulldogs comes in the hands of Trey Gilliam a lot.
Yeah, Trey Gilliam, a returning player from last year, a senior, 5'10", 170 pounds, scores a variety of different ways, has 8 touchdown receptions on the year, has interception return for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown.
The Redskins won the toss and have elected to receive, so we will see their offense first. And it's a squib kick. It'll be fielded at the 31-yard line. And Henderson brings it back up to the 39. So that's where the Redskins will bring their offense back out onto the field for the first time tonight.
And we should mention that this game also displays two of the most experienced coaches here in the Western Buckeye League, with Jerry Beauty in his 24th year here at the helm of Defiance, and Doug Fry, who only in his 4th year at Wapak has been a veteran fixture here in the Western Buckeye League with his 11-year tenure at St. Mary's.
First handoff off the left side. It'll be Metz, who figures to be a key figure in this offense for the Redskins.
Coincidentally, Keaton Metz is going to be our feature player to watch here for the Wapak offense. Kind of the big play threat for the Redskins, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, and had 2 touchdowns receiving last week, including a big 74-yarder right at the beginning of the 4th quarter against Salina.
Handoff to the right side, and Henderson on his 2nd down and 5 will pick up a couple of yards up across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and Henderson played a little bit on the offensive side last week as well. Coach Fry has been kind of mixing him in, been a full-time defensive player, also working to be, some more explosiveness on the offensive side as well.
Redskins bring an extra tight end in as the pitch goes to Schmergy off the left side. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and plow forward for a couple of yards, but it's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Redskins near midfield. And
something that with both of these coaches, if it's 4th and short in midfield, don't even think about bringing the punt team out. But both coaches are very, very aggressive in these type of situations.
So the Redskin offensive line has the work cut out for them. They are working against a pretty hefty defensive line on the side of Defiance, and we'll talk more about that as we go along. But a 4th and 1 coming up here early in this contest. Morgan under center. And the handoff goes to Schmergy. He got close. It'll depend on the spot.
Yeah, I think he just got it. They're in that full house backfield, and they are going to go ahead and give him the first down without the benefit of measuring. So a key first down, a 4th down conversion on the first drive for the Redskins. But Doug Fry obviously would like a little bit more movement off the line of scrimmage from his line.
Well, that's not going to be easy because this is a pretty hefty defensive line.
Yeah, Gabe Rodriguez, big 260-pounder, and we'll try to feature as many of those other guys on the front line for Defiance as well.
Metz cuts the corner, and he falls forward up to the 46-yard line on the Defiance side of the field. Gain of 4 on the play. That Defiance defensive line averages about 6 foot 240. So they're a good-sized group, and most of them upperclassmen.
Yeah, they have 8 senior starters on the defensive side, so a very veteran group there on the defensive side.
Schmergy puts the head down, and he plows forward to the 40-yard line and should be close to another first down. It'll bring up a 3rd down, but not much to get. This Defiance defense did a good job last week against OG on 3rd down situations.
Yes, they held OG to 2 for 12 on 3rd down conversions, and early on here, Wapak is 0 for 1.
Here's the handoff left side. It'll be Metz, and he'll pick up the first down easily. He gets down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play.
A lot better job in moving the line of scrimmage there by the left side of the Wapak offensive line. They gave Metz, a big cushion to be able to pick up that first down rather easily.
This will be the 8th play of the drive coming up. Morgan will hand off to Metz, who slips in the backfield and falls as he goes down at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, no, I made some remembrance. It was raining a lot, not too long ago, and I'm sure the field is going to be slick there.
Mm-hmm.
You do see it kind of tore up in just a little bit of places. Obviously, nowhere near the quagmire we had a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But, it's still going to be slick out there. It might be easier to run a little bit more north and south than try to do those quick cuts east and west.
Right, and we watched that in that Bath contest where that field condition really affected the way Metz was able to run. Here's Schmergy off the left side. He picks up big yards down to the 25-yard line and another first down.
Yeah, really nice job running Schmergy outside, which isn't usually his ball game. But Wyatt Harrison, did a tremendous job pulling and be able to just get his guy long enough to allow Schmergy to get that outside corner. Here's the replay. You can see Harrison right there with the block on Austin Hancock to allow Schmergy to pick up that big run.
On a first down, here is Metz up the middle of the field. He'll get down inside the 25 to the 23, so a couple of yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, Spencer Batt right there, the 6'2 senior, to be able to make the play. Again, Coach Fry tried to run that a little bit earlier. There's the same play there that Metz had originally slipped on.
This is the number 1 ranked rushing unit in the WBL. Handoff Schmergy left side, inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line.
Well, it's just going to be an interesting matchup, because Walpak's offensive line is very big, but as you mentioned, Defiance's front is very big as well. It might be the only time all year that, they see, equal size across from them. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see who dominates the line of scrimmage as this game goes on.
Handoff Metz on the 12th play of the drive. Not much there.
So we see that time, at 3rd and short, ran the same dive play where they picked up about 4 or 5 yards. This time, the Bulldog defense was able to rise to the occasion and get the stop, led by big 295-pound Savante Vaughn.
So a 4th down coming up. The Redskins have already converted 1 4th down on this possession. Their opening possession of the ball game. Morgan under center. Takes the snap, and it's Schmergy right side. He'll bull his way down inside the 15-yard line and pick up another first down.
Again, nothing fancy, just getting that full house backfield, giving the ball to, your big, strong, two-way standout in Schmergy, 230 pounds, be able to mush the ball up ahead for about 1.5 yards and enough to keep this drive alive, chains.
And those are tough for a defense to absorb, a couple of 4th down conversions on this same possession. Handoff Martin, he goes to the left side. Inside the 10-yard line, being held up, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 4.
Yeah, nice little stutter step there by Logan Martin. Was able to get an extra about 4 yards as he was able to evade Zach Buer to be able to bring up a 1st and goal from just inside the 5-yard line here for the Redskins.
6:03 left in this first quarter. It has been all Redskins.
You can see here this quick replay, although we're back to action here quickly.
Schmergy left side, and he is going to get down to about the 2-yard line and pick up of a couple on the play.
They talk about sometimes, all these spread offenses that are around, and they have to kind of change what they do when they get, in close to the goal line. Well, that is not so for this type of offense for the Wapak Redskins. They can continue just to smash the ball to try to get that 6 points.
They'll spot that ball at the 3, 2nd down and goal. Handoff up the middle, Schmergy. He takes a group of defenders with him into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that's Schmergy's 8th touchdown of the year. And, Coach Fry's got to be extremely happy with this. They dominated the ball this first quarter. Here we can see here on the replay, a little trap play near the goal line. Sometimes teams don't like to pull those guards there, but very well done by the Redskins to be able to score there. But Coach Fry has got to be very happy with, third down and fourth down conversions and being able to just move the ball against this big front.
Bailey Heingartner adds the extra point, and with 5:30 remaining here in the first quarter, the Redskins put together a dominant drive on their first possession and get into the end zone to take a 7-0 lead. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
16 plays, 60 yards, 6 minutes, 24 seconds off the clock. The first possession for Wapakoneta, and they absolutely drove it down the field on their opening possession to take a 7-0 lead. And Paul, as you mentioned, nothing fancy about what they're doing there.
No, not at all. As you said, 16 plays all on the ground. Only averaging 3.8 a carry on that, but it's enough to be able to put points on the board.
Hancock upended as he gets across the 25 up to the 30-yard line, so a nice return, and he very nearly busted that one for bigger yards.
Yeah, Hancock, one of the big play players here for Defiance. He's averaged 22.6 yards on a kick return.
Well, we'll see this talented quarterback and wide receiver combo that Defiance features. Will Batt is the quarterback. He comes in throwing for over 1,300 yards so far this season, and he works out of the shotgun here. Lobs it to the near side. It's caught near the line of scrimmage and not much there. On the reception, Trey Gilliam.
Yeah, we're going to call his name a lot. Already has 42 catches for 679 yards coming into the game. That's 135 yards receiving per game. Was a second-team All-WBL receiver last year and a second-team All-WBL cornerback.
Batt last week, 3 touchdown passes against OG, but also threw 2 interceptions. He finds a wide open receiver across midfield. Into the near side, Detter is going to be brought down as he gets to the 25-yard line.
And Detter's 8th catch of the year is a big one, and a blown coverage by the Wapak Redskins, kind of set up by Batt having all kinds of time to be able to survey the field, and Defiance is right back up the ball.
3 receivers wide to the right, 2 to the left. Fires it over the near side, caught. Shaking off 1 tackle and falling forward is Austin Hancock. He'll get down to the 19-yard line. 46 yards on that pass completion from Batt to Detter that got the Bulldogs deep into Redskin territory here.
Yeah, we haven't really mentioned, this spread attack for Defiance. Don't look for many running plays. They only average 50 yards a game running the ball, and they have no touchdowns so far this year on the ground.
Back to pass, and a little bit long, intended for Hancock in the end zone left side.
Yeah, Lodridge was right there. It would have took a perfect pass to be able to complete that, and he almost did make that perfect pass. But this does kind of set up a 3rd and 5 for Coach Beauty.
These offenses are just polar opposites when you watch them on the field. It's amazing the way that the Redskins were able to chew up clock and drive 60 yards. 4 receivers now. Gilliam was in the backfield with Batt. He's flushed out of the pocket. He'll dive forward as he's wrapped up near the 20, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, nice job by Isaac Kirby coming up and be able to make that play from behind. If he doesn't make that play, Batt could have picked up the 1st down, and because he did not, this brings up a key 4th down situation. And obviously Coach Beauty in this field position is going to be going for it, but Coach Beauty, if they were at his own 40, probably would be going for it as well.
Right. This time Gilliam lines up in a slot on the near side. Bat out of the shotgun as usual. Surveys. He rolls out to the near side, looking downfield, still fires it over the middle of the field, and nearly caught by Gilliam, and he is in some pain down there at the 11-yard line. He came up with the Wildcat defender landing on the back of his leg there.
That was a nice play by Nick Steinke to be able to kind of come up. The pass was just a split second late. Otherwise, the pass could have been caught, but Steinke was able to knock the pass away, and that will cause a turnover on downs.
Well, the ball will go back over to the Redskins as the training staff attends to Gilliam at the 11-yard line. We'll take a break. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
First down and 10 for the Redskins. Martin takes the handoff left side, and he'll get back to the 20-yard line. Not much there. And a devastating blow to this Bulldog offense as Trey Gilliam helped off the field, and he did not put any weight on that right foot as he was coming off the field, Paul.
No, and he's still being helped by teammates over here on the sideline. It looks like they're going to put him on the cart and, take him back and get him examined. So, we hope for the best for, Trey Gilliam.
Morgan rolling out to the near side, lobs it forward. It's caught by Metz. He's up across the 35 to the 40, cuts it back to the middle of the field to midfield. Into Bulldog territory, down to the 30, and finally wrapped up and pulled down as he gets to the 26-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to feature Keaton Metz as a big play player. Last week had 2 incredibly long touchdown receptions. And this one, Cody Morgan is able to connect with him again. Only his 4th catch of the season. But again, all for big yardage. So tremendous play. Coach Fry coming out aggressive after the turnover on downs.
54 yards on the connection from Morgan to Metz. They connected last week for 2 touchdown passes. Here's Schmergy left side. Powers his way across the 20 and finally wrapped up and pulled down as he gets to the 16-yard line.
And just something that coaches might pick up on film as they go through. We haven't seen a whole lot this entire year of Schmergy on the pitch sweep to the outside, but that's the 3rd time we've seen that play all run to the left against this Defiance team.
2nd down and 4 coming up as we approach 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Redskins with a 7-0 lead. Handoff left side, and not a lot there, maybe a couple of yards. I think that was Metz on the carry. Nope, Henderson.
Yeah, nice job right there by the Defiance defense. Rodriguez, and then the attack of Zach Morris was able to make the play.
.134 remaining. 3rd down and 2. The Redskins 1 of 3 on 3rd down here tonight. Here's Schmergy. He bounces off the first tackler off the left side and fights his way down inside the 5 to the 2-yard line.
Nice recognition by Schmergy right there. Saw a little bit of traffic, hesitated a little bit, made a guy miss, shrugged off another blocker or would-be tackler, and is on the doorstep of putting it in the end zone once again for the Redskins.
Those missed tackles, Paul, will make a head coach Screech on the sidelines. Morgan under center. And up the middle it goes into the end zone, touchdown.
Cody Morgan, last week is the first time we've really seen him gets the call at QB, but that's his first rushing touchdown of the year, and Boyson by the big play throw from Morgan to Metz. Morgan's able to cap it off with a QB sneak for the touchdown to put the Redskins up 13-0. See, Coach Beauty not a very happy camper for this start.
Heingardner will be out there to attempt the extra point. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And so with 58 seconds remaining here in this first quarter, the Redskins open up a 2-touchdown lead over Defiance. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Well, the Wapakoneta Redskins have come in here and put together 2 dominant possessions, and they lead it 14-0. They've also thrown up a good defensive stand deep in their own territory to shut down the Bulldogs offensively. Heingardner puts the foot into it. It'll be Hancock to field it inside the 10. He lost the handle on it. Still loose. Martin looks like he may have dove on it, and it's Redskin ball inside the 20 at the Defiance 17-yard line.
And this is just a disastrous start for the Defiance Bulldogs. You've given up 2 long drives to start the game. You get stopped. Your best weapon and is hurt, and now you fumble the kickoff and give this Redskins team here the ball at the 18-yard line. As we see on the replay, just never really had it, kicked it ahead. Walpole got on the coverage down very quickly. Nice hit right there by Stauffer to make sure that Hancock did not jump on his own fumble. And Johnny on the spot, Redskins with tremendous field position.
They spot the ball at the 18-yard line. Schmergy goes left side. He's hit by Hancock as he gets down inside the 15, and he'll be brought down at the 10. So an 8-yard run on first down for Schmergy. And the Redskins have been clipping runs off at a pretty good rate.
Yeah, you know, they actually probably didn't need the break of getting that great a field position the way that things have been going, but they will definitely take it, and they're looking to try to put points on as this first quarter winds down.
Here's Schmergy again, this time right side. Slipped a little bit as he got to the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for a gain of a yard.
So it looks like that's probably going to end up being the last play of this quarter. You know, Coach Beauty's just going to have to try to rally his troops here during, you know, the break here between the first and second quarter. You know, try to implore them to try to get a stop right here, and let's get things turned around for that second quarter.
1 quarter of play in the books here in Defiance, and the Redskins on the road with the lead, 14-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here for the start of the second quarter, the Redskins knocking on the door again with a 14-0 lead. They have the ball 3rd down and 1. And the 6th play of the drive coming up. Redskins are 2 out of 4 on 3rd down. And that's what they face here at 3rd down and 1.
But just kind of piggyback on that, you know, they're 2 for 4, but they're also 2 for 2 on 4th down, so they would have been able to pick it up, whether it's been on 3rd down or the next.
Good luck as you play next weekend in Columbus.
Morgan will keep it himself, and he gets a good lead block. He'll fall forward to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that looked almost exactly like the touchdown run, the previous possession, and I wanted to kind of point out on that, center Kyle Gonerman and number 55, right guard Will Rankin, did a tremendous job getting movement on the quarterback sneak.
So 1st down and goal for the Redskins at the 6-yard line. Handoff, Schmergy, left side. And he'll go down to the 1-yard line.
And I tell you what, Defiance's defense wasn't even set. You know, the Redskins sprinted out of their huddle, got set, went on a quick count, and was able to take Defiance by surprise a little bit to be able to, you know, get that much closer to the end zone.
2nd down and goal. They spot the ball at the 2-yard line. Met Schmergy and Martz in the backfield. Martin in the backfield. Handoff left side.
Quarterback sneak right there. Once again, this time Morgan able to dart a little bit to his left. And again, kind of a forgotten weapon is Cody Morgan running the ball, even on a quarterback sneak. Finds pay dirt for the 2nd time tonight.
2-yard run by Morgan, his 2nd 2-yard touchdown run of the night. Heingardner, who has been busy tonight, out there to attempt the extra point.
20 for 20 on the year.
Kick is up, and it is good. 11:04 left in the half, and the Redskins add to their lead. They're up 21-0 here in Defiance. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
11:04 remaining in the half, and the Redskins with a 21-0 lead. They have dominated this first half of play to this point. Defiance will be set to receive the kick from Heingardner. Their last kickoff return was fumbled, and that set up that last scoring drive for the Redskins, a 5-play, 18-yard drive that covered 1:44. Capped by a 2-yard run by Morgan.
And actually, Defiance with a different deep back on this.
And the return up across the 20 to the 23-yard line.
And that's Derek Rillier. You remember last time the kick was fumbled by Austin Hancock, giving Wapak that tremendous field position. Coach Beauty decided, hey, we're not going to have that anymore. We're going to put somebody else back there.
Right. So Relier with the return out to the 24. And Defiance's offense back out onto the field. They'll be short one of their most talented players as Bat rolls out to the near side. Fires it short of his intended receiver at the 31-yard line, incomplete.
And Dan, it's going to be interesting to see how Defiance reacts to the loss of, their big playmaker, Trey Gilliam. Will Bat is completing only 50% of his passes for the year, with that weapon. Who's going to step up in the absence of Gilliam now?
This is only the 8th play of the night for Defiance's offense compared to 27 plays for the Redskins. And Bat under pressure fires it up the near sideline. It's incomplete. And he did a lot of running to get out of trouble over there.
Yeah, that's something we didn't see in that first possession from the Wapak Redskins. If you remember that long pass that the Defiance did have, Bat was back there for seemingly forever and able to scope down the field. This time, defensive coach Patterson sent the blitz with Smurgy and was able to flush him out.
2 receivers to each side. Bat with time. Fires it left side, looking down the sideline, incomplete, broken up on the far side. And I believe that was Locke that got the hand in there.
Actually, I think it was Steinke.
Okay. That
was back there on the coverage. Step for step with the tight end, Zach Hale. Again, brings up a 4th and long, and even on this type of situation, Coach Beauty's going to send out the punt team. So definitely not how you want to be able to respond to being down 3 scores at home and here early in the second quarter with a 3 and out.
And the Redskins get some pressure on, but the kick is away. It'll be fielded at the 40-yard line. Back across midfield to the 45 of the Bulldogs, and that was Henderson on the return. And that's the Redskin offense will have fantastic field position to start their next possession.
If Coach Fry wanted to script down his perfect start to the game, it couldn't have been any better than it has so far for the Redskins. For their 4th possession in a row, they're going to start with great field position. Already have scored their first 3 possessions, and Defiance is just looking for something to grab onto to happen positively for this game, because nothing positive has happened yet.
Big run here for Martin off the left side, down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and a flag is down at the end of that play. And we'll see what that call is about.
Martin did a great job just kind of hiding behind his blockers, letting them stay between him and the defenders. However, one of the reasons why they did such a great job is it looks like they must have been pulling a little bit of laundry on that one.
So the holding call will go against the Redskins. That's really the first negative play they've had tonight.
And because they gained so many yards and it was a spot foul, it still ends up being about a 1st and 5.
They're one of the most penalized teams in the WBL. They have 25 penalties so far this year for over 200 yards. I think only Kenton has been penalized more than them. Handoff, Metz going to the right side looking for the corner. He finds it at the 40 to the 35, down the right sideline. He's got one man to beat, and he's wrestled down as he gets to the 15-yard line.
And Metz has got tremendous speed, as we can see that burst. But the key to that play was actually Adam Henderson being able to seal that end to allow Metz to get that corner to be able to turn.
So that spots the ball at the 16-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Redskins. They're threatening again. Handoff. Right side, Schmergy will get up the middle down to the 7-yard line. And Defiance has had no answer so far for the Redskin running game.
And we don't really keep track of the stats, but I'd be interested to see what percentage of plays Wapak has done in the red zone. I would say over half of their plays has been inside the Defiance 20.
More than Coach Beauty would have liked. Handoff, Schmergy left side. Finds some space. He'll fall to the 2-yard line. another first down and goal situation for the Redskins.
And Coach Fry seemingly can just do no wrong so far, basically decide who do we want to give the ball to now. Usually it's Zach Smirgy in this situation, but the last couple possessions he's allowed his quarterback to sneak it in from about this distance as well.
First and goal from the 2, under 9 minutes to play in the half. Handoff Smirgy left side, touchdown. Second rushing touchdown for Zach Smirgy tonight. This one a 2-yard run.
Yeah, his 9th overall in the season. We can see the replay right here. Just nice little fullback dive play. You see the lead block up there by the halfback Keaton Metz, and just tremendous blocking by Fenning and Harrison.
Heingardner on to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it is good. 8:53 left in the half. The Redskins in command here in Defiance. They lead 28-0. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Yep.
8:53 left in our half. The Redskins have dominated from the very start of this ball game. They lead 28-0, and we're starting to see a little bit of rain out there. I can say a little bit because I'm not standing out there getting drenched right now.
Yeah, because it's not looking like it's a little bit coming down. It's looking like it's pretty heavy. We see a ton of umbrellas kind of popping up.
This one fielded at the goal line. Relier will be hit and brought down as he gets to the 15-yard line.
Well, if you want to kind of just talk about domination, just in terms, obviously on the scoreboard, 28-0 with 8:45 left is dominating. But total plays, Wapak has run 31 plays, and Defiance has only run 9. Time of possession, Wapak 12 minutes and 34 seconds, and then Defiance only 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So just absolute domination so far here for the Redskins.
They send a big fella out of there.
And that should be a penalty. If they broke the huddle with 12 men, that should be a penalty.
Bat under some pressure, rolls out left side. He's going to run it himself, and he'll go out of bounds as a flag comes down in the backfield. Near the 20-yard line is where he'll go out of bounds. The flag back near the 8.
Yeah, they threw a flag right at the feet of an offensive lineman for Defiance, and they're going to get him with a holding call. I believe that was number 52, Torrance Hicks. And you get a good look there. The rain just coming down. It was kind of raining, on our way up here, and kind of just all around, the area, and it could not come at a worse time for the pass-dependent Defiance Bulldogs team.
Yeah, it was already looking pretty bad for them when just on the scoreboard, the rain isn't going to help them at all. With the penalty, that pushes them back inside their own 5-yard line to their 4.
Kind of interesting formation here, Dan.
Yeah. Bat over the middle, caught up to the 8-yard line. Jake Meyer on the reception. It'll be interesting to see, as you said, Paul, who this Defiance team goes to now, because with Gilliam out of the game, their next leading receiver has about a third of the receptions that Gilliam had.
Yeah, Gilliam again had 42 receptions coming in. The next best had 15.
Bat is back to pass. He fires it out to the near side, and going back to grab that is Hancock, but it cannot haul it in.
And Bat was absolutely hammered right as he threw the ball. Definitely Shane Line was in there. I didn't catch the other person. I think that was Cockrell getting some time in their defense as a sophomore. Was in there to put pressure on him as well.
We talked about it before the broadcast that Shane Line is becoming more and more of a weapon against quarterbacks with his ability to rush. Especially right now where he knows it's just about they're going to pass. And here he is pressuring again. Bat able to fire that one out to the near side, but it broken up by Henderson at the 25-yard line. A pass intended for Wes Detter. And Henderson did a tremendous job. You know, a lot of times you'll see defensive backs get sloppy and either put their arm around that guy and get a flag or try to go through him. You know, he was patient. He knew he was in position and then just timed it up with his right hand to be able to slap the ball away and to avoid, you know, what would have been a needless pass interference penalty. So Barnhart back to punt it on a 4th and 19. Low kick, or low snap rather, and this one is blocked and recovered by the Redskins in the end zone. Cameron Locke with the block. Did not actually see who jumped on it. Actually, I think it was Stauffer that jumped on it. We'll get a better look at it. It definitely is. Casey Stauffer's the one that jumped on it, but you got to credit 23, Cameron Locke, to be able to get that block. If you remember last week, he made all kinds of plays, including a blocked extra point. So the second block kick in as many weeks for Cameron Locke leads to yet another touchdown here for the Redskins. Well, when it rains, it pours, Paul. Kick is up, and that one is good. 7:48 left in the half, and the Redskins 35-0 the lead on the road here. You're watching high school football on Game Face, Ohio.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
7:48 left in the half. The Redskins have taken the drama out of this one pretty early. They lead 35-0. Paul, we talked about this game on the way up here. We thought the way Defiance has played in the first part of this season that this may be one of our chances to see an entertaining game. Now, we got a little spoiled last week, but we thought that this would be an entertaining game, and so far it hasn't been very entertaining for the home crowd.
Well, last week's Walpock Salina game was an absolute classic. But so far, this has been an absolute nightmare, and that ball's not getting to the end zone. He's going to have to pick that up.
And now we have an official in the center of the field saying it was a touchback.
That was almost just another disaster, which I don't think I've ever seen. A returner just absolutely giving up on the ball right there. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll get a replay of it. Maybe the nose of the ball was touching the end line, and that's all it would take. But the Redskins almost got another special teams touchdown in a way I never would have seen before.
Right. Almost a mercy call by the official there.
Well, the official that was closest to was not calling the touchback.
Mm-hmm.
The referee towards the middle of the field was actually waving his arm for the touchback. So, like I said, must not have a replay of that one. And we have a good shot right there of defensive coordinator Coach Patterson. Really liking what he sees so far.
Bat out of the shotgun. Fires it over to the near side where it's caught up across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Jake Meyer with the reception, his first of the night. 7 yards on the reception. 2nd down and 3 coming up. The Bulldogs will send 3 receivers wide to the left side, and Bat will work out of the shotgun. Has a back there with him. His pass to the left is complete, but right at the line of scrimmage, so not much there for Hancock.
Yeah, Henderson was there to snuff that out very, very quickly. First time we've seen a back in the backfield for Defiance. I wonder if, Coach Beauty would kind of consider, with losing their best weapon receiving, maybe, trying to look to the ground maybe a little bit here and there to try to keep this Redskins defense off balance.
My mistake, that was Wes Detter that made that reception over there on the far side. He checks out of the game now. Bat down the near side. It is caught near midfield and out of bounds on the near sideline is Jake Meyer.
Well, Jake Meyer did a tremendous job making an adjustment to the ball in the air. Cameron Locke, the same player that blocked the punt for the touchdown, was actually in tremendous position. He just didn't react to the ball as quickly as Meyer did. He needs to get his head around just a little bit quicker, and if he did, he would have been in position to make the play on the ball. 1st down and 10, and for the second time tonight, Defiance is into Wapak territory. Here's Seth Meyer off the left side. He's going to be hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and not much there for him. Now, it looked like for a second that there was going to be a hole there, but, the Redskins were able to update their defense to be able to make that play.
2nd down 10.
So a 2nd down and 10. Now 6 minutes, or just over 6 minutes to play here in the half. Bat out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. He's got pressure rolling out to the near side. Lobs it to the middle of the field, and it is nearly picked off. That was Cockrell, I believe, that got a hand on that one.
Yeah, Cockrell, a youngster we've seen a little bit towards the end of games, playing on both sides of the ball, even carrying the ball offensively a little bit. Coach Patterson giving him an extended look here on defense to see how the youngster can do.
Now a 3rd down and 10 coming up. Defiance is 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. Bat lobs it to the near side of the field looking for Meyer, who makes the catch inside the 25 at the 24-yard line where he's pushed out of bounds, and flags come down.
There's 2 flags, and that time Meyer was able to get separation from Locke, and they're going to call pass interference, which is going to be declined because the pass was completed. But just a tremendous pitch and catch there by Bat, as the second time they've been able to connect with him and Meyer along this sideline. As we see the replay, just a nice short little drop, throwing it up there. This time he was able to get a little bit of separation between him and the defender, and the result is a big play and, the first real scoring threat for the Bulldogs.
.27 yards on that completion to Meyer. He lines up wide to the far side left. 2 men inside of him. Bat out of the shotgun. He has Seth Myers back there with him, and he is hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss at the 25.
Well, that time the Redskins paid no mind to the fake handoff and immediately went to tackle Bat. We're going to see the replay right here. Nothing there to hold those guys there. They weren't blocked. Just either not well executed or wasn't designed correctly for that particular front, as the Redskins just gave them no chance that time for success.
Well, actually spot the ball at the 24-yard line, so a 2nd down and 11. Over to the near side, off the hands of the intended receiver, as that one dropped by Colton Relier.
3rd down 11.
So another 3rd down coming up.
And Bat is 8 for 17 after that, which is about what he completes. He's just under 50%, and again, for the year, he's just 50.5% throwing the ball.
3rd down and 11. Ball to 24-yard line of the Redskins. Bat fakes, now drives, or fries it down the near sideline where it's caught by Relier inside the 5 at the 1-yard line.
That was a tremendous pass. Bat put that in a very, very small window, able to drop it in to Relier, and this sets up a 1st and goal from almost the 1-yard line. Nice pass.
23-yard connection to Relier from Bat. 1st down and goal for Defiance. 1 receiver wide to each side. Man in motion across the backfield to the near side. And a flag comes down.
I believe they're going to call offsides on Wapak. Remember, in high school, it's a neutral zone infraction is going to be a dead ball. You know, you don't get that free play that you would in college or in high school. I do want to make notice, Defiance comes into the game with 0 rushing touchdowns. We'll see if they look to pick up their first one of the year here.
Well, at less than a yard to go on 1st down. Handoff, Hancock right side, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So that'll break up the shutout for the Redskin defense.
And a nice looking drive for the Bulldogs. You know, they had a lot of long passes. You wondered who's going to step up. You know, someone like Jake Meyer only had 4 catches so far coming into this game. And a nice looking drive gets the Bulldogs on the board.
So Defiance will be out there to attempt the extra point.
Hancock to attempt the extra point.
The hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So Hancock scores the touchdown, then tacks on the extra point himself. 5:01 left in the half, 35-7 in favor of the Redskins. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Handoff Schmergy up the middle of the field, across the 25 to the 27-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of another 1st down.
Don't get me wrong, you know, Coach Fry also understands during this process when we get those 3 and 4 yarders, we're going to break some longer ones within those. So, you know, that's definitely built in. We've seen the Redskins do that so far this game as well. You know, but this is more what they want. They want the 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. Oh, this one looks to be 3rd and a pretty long 2.
Morgan under center, hands off Schmergy, right side. He's going to find the corner. Racing to the sideline, now cuts it up the middle. And he'll get across midfield to the 49-yard line on the other side. Another nice run for Zach Schmergy.
Yeah, and right on cue, we kind of talked about, hey, it's not just about the 3 and 4 yarders. We're going to get some long ones. Zach Schmergy rattles off a big gainer there for the 1st down. As we can see this, just right off the right side. I always call that G play because it's the play side guard pulling to the outside. It can run up the inside, but that time he's able to bounce it outside for big yardage.
23 yards on a carry for Schmergy. Here's Metz for a couple. Down to the 47. Under 3.5 to play here in the half.
Coach Fry there giving instructions to his junior quarterback.
Morgan will bring him to the line of scrimmage. Posada wide near side to the left. Back to pass is Morgan. He lobs it right side, and it's caught by the tight end up around the 40. He'll power his way down to the 30 to the 28-yard line. Nice reception there for Jared Smith.
Yeah, Jared Smith had a 2-point conversion catch last week. That's his 5th regular catch on the year, and I really like to see the tight ends. I'm not going to make a move. I'm just going to put my shoulder down, and I'm going to run you over and see how you like it.
So first down and 10 for the Redskins at the 29-yard line. Martin with a spin move at the line of scrimmage. He will fall forward for 2 more.
Yeah, I'm not sure Martin got the right read on his block that time. It looked like Harrison was trying to hook his man, in which the read should have been to bounce it outside, and Martin instead tried to bump it up right there, which is right to where the defender was.
Ball at the 27. Second down and 8 coming up. Morgan back to pass, has some time, fires it down the center of the field, and he overthrows his intended receiver at the goal line. He was looking to connect.
Adam Henderson.
No, Adam Henderson, okay.
Adam Henderson was open on the post route right there, coming from a wingback position after the play action. Wide open, Morgan missed the opportunity for his 4th touchdown pass of the year. That makes him 2 for 3 so far this game, passing the ball.
He had a good week throwing the ball last week, 174 yards, I believe.
Yeah, only 5 completions.
Right. Schmergy with it, going to the right side, shut down. Now a second effort gets him up across the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Nice job by Evan Troop to be able to string that out long enough to allow the pursuit to come in and clean that up. Brings up a 4th down from about the 24-yard line. And just given the field position, Coach Fry is opting to go for it.
4th down and 5. Morgan looks like he's going to keep it himself. He goes to the right side. He'll dive forward, and he's going to be close.
Well, that's a great individual effort because I didn't think he had any chance of getting to those sticks. Coach Fry goes to a little bit of the gimmick bag to be able to try to pick up that first down on that particular occasion, and they're going to measure this one.
The officials will bring the chains out onto the field. That play looked like it was moving in slow motion. Nobody knew exactly where to go except for Morgan.
So what's your call here, Dan? Do you think you got it? You can see on the replay, Morgan kind of runs into his own back or the back of his own teammate before finally finding, and you can see there it is, good enough for the first down.
My plan was always to get it on 3rd down. That way I don't have to worry about that. So the ball will be at the 19-yard line. First down and 10 for the Redskins as they threaten again.
And I believe Walbach is now perfect on 4th down conversions this game at 3 from 3.
Morgan under center. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right, looking downfield. He will fire toward the sideline. Caught by Metz and out of bounds at the first down marker.
And I tell you what, that was actually pretty good coverage by Defiance right there. Morgan had a small little window to get the ball there to Metz, but he was able to do so. That's the second time they've hooked up this game. Cody Morgan showing, some talent here and some precision at quarterback throwing the ball.
First down and goal. That ball comes loose, and there's a pile for it at the 8-yard line. Looks like the Redskins have got back on top of it.
So, first kind of a break opportunity for Defiance, and there's just no one there to be able to fall on the ball as Metz got popped right on the ball, and it popped out and was there for the taking. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, the Redskins were able to maintain possession.
That'll back him up to the 9-yard line, though. Second down and goal now. And a timeout going to be taken by the Redskins. Just under a minute to play here in the half. The Redskins with the 35-7 lead, but threatening to add to it here. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
35-7, the Redskins with the lead. Under a minute to play here in the half, and the Redskins with the ball. Second down and goal at the 9-yard line. And Coach Fry taking a timeout.
Yeah, under a minute to go. Just want to make sure they kind of go through all those scenarios. The first real bad thing happened to them where they fumbled the ball, but as things are going for the Redskins tonight, they were able to jump on and maintain possession to continue to try to put some more points on the board tonight.
Morgan will bring him to the line of scrimmage. Pitch to Schmergy. He brings it to the left side, looking for the corner. He is going to get into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, 4th time we've seen that play this time, the little pitch to Schmergy. Again, something that I'm sure coaches saw on film. They felt they could exploit. Schmergy scores from 9 yards out. The 3rd time this game, 10th overall for the season. You can see just a quick little pitch. And then Posada doing a great job at his wide receiver spot, able to spring him for the touchdown, much like how he helped spring him on that big 4th and 32 conversion last week.
Yeah, he's come up with some key blocks. That kick by Heingardner is up and good. And so with 49 seconds remaining in the half, the Redskins have opened up their lead 42-7. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Late second quarter, Redskins with a 42-7 lead over the Bulldogs. And Paul, that has to take some wind out of the Bulldogs' sail. They just put together their best drive of the night, got into the end zone for the first time, and the Redskins answer right back.
Yeah, until the Bulldogs show that they can slow down this Redskins offensive attack, it's going to be a long night for them.
That kick is going to go out of bounds for Heingardner on the far side, so the Bulldogs will come out with 49 seconds left in the half, and they'll have the ball at their own 35-yard line.
On another note, this is one of the biggest gatherings of band members all in one area I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of brass down there, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Both bands, Defiance and Wapak, with big, very, very good bands, are kind of intermingling here on the blue track right in front of us.
Bat will work out of the shotgun. 3 receivers for him to choose from. fires it over to the near side, and it short hops his intended receiver. He was looking on the near side for Relier.
Hey, Relier's him and Bat connected on the previous possession where it took it right down to about the 1 yard line. That one, I don't know if it slipped out of his hand, but it looked like a wounded duck coming out of Bat's hand.
So a 2nd down and 10 coming up now. Bat works with two backs in the backfield with him. Has some time, now rolls out to the near side, changes direction, back to the far side of the field, still looking downfield, fires it, and hauled in by Relier at the 50-yard line.
At that time, Coach Patterson opted only to rush 3, and Bat was able to sit back there for a long time and eventually, find an open receiver. And Coach Beatty quickly calls timeout.
34 seconds left in the half, and for the Bulldogs, it was nice to have some time to throw it, but at the same time, they don't have a lot of time to work with if they're going to try and get in the end zone here again before the end of the half.
No, but with 2 more timeouts and their type of offense, as long as they're efficient doing it, time's not the biggest issue in the world. It's just a matter of executing what they want to do, which the last possession they were able to display that they were able to do that. However, just so far this game, they haven't had a lot, to get really excited about. And right now, the Redskins, are really excited about how they're playing.
Yeah, and if you're the Defiance sideline, you got to be a little scared about how the way this is unfolding. So the ball midfield, 1st down and 10. Two receivers wide to the left for Bat. He has one to the near side.
You can see the defensive backs for Wapak almost 30 yards off the ball.
Pass to the far sideline caught, and Detter is run out of bounds near the 1st down marker. Stops the clock at 29 seconds.
Redskins kind of playing what you'd almost call prevent defense. They've been playing mostly, some, man-to-man, at least underneath, with some safeties help up top. But right now they got about 4 defensive backs. In this case, they're about 15, 20 yards off the ball, just trying to keep the play in front of them.
Bat out to the near side, off the hands of Myers, incomplete.
And considering they were basically conceding that pass, that ball's just got to be more accurate by Bat.
So a 3rd down and 1 coming up now. They are 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. And the biggest factor for this Bulldog offense is that they haven't been on the field all that much. Bat back to pass. He lost the ball loose near midfield, and it looks like the Redskins have gotten it.
They only sent 3, and Shane Line, for whatever reason, they decided to let the back try to block him, and that is a mistake. He went through him, able to knock the ball out of Bat's hand, and somehow the Defiance Bulldogs are able to recover, so at least to maintain possession, and they call a timeout here with 4th down.
Yeah, they have a 4th down and about 7 coming up now after that fumble with just under 16 seconds left to play.
Here we're going to get a replay of it right here, Dan. You can see Shane Line. They're trying to block him, but he's just running right through him. He's able to knock the ball out of Bat's hand. I thought Stauffer was going to be able to get it, but it looked like Bat was able to kind of wrestle the ball back himself.
Shane Line getting through there. He runs like he's late for the bus. So 4th down and 7 now. Bat has 3 receivers bunched to the right side. Back to pass. Under pressure is Bat. He escapes. Moves to the far side of the field. Still looking downfield. throws to Hancock over at the 35-yard line where it's caught for a first down.
And Steinke for the Redskins is going to be dreaming about that missed sack opportunity. He was coming from the blind side of Bat and had basically, the possession-ending sack in his sights. Bat's able somehow to evade, throws across the field to Hancock to be able to move the chains and keep this drive alive, albeit with only 6 seconds left in the half.
12-yard connection there to pick up the first down to the 35-yard line.
So we see the replay right here. You see Bat Steinke just right there. Bat sees him right at the very last second. Again, throws it across in a nice adjustment, coming back to the ball, coming back to his quarterback is Hancock. Hancock, we should mention, is also the field goal kicker. Obviously, it'd be way out of field goal range right here. But he is 1 for 2 on the season from field goals. But the one he made was only 22 yards.
Mm-hmm. And the field was probably in better shape than it is right now. 3 receivers to the right of the line. Bat back to pass. Getting pressure, steps up, fires it down the right sideline, and well out of bounds on the near side with 0.2 seconds left.
So it didn't really give his player an opportunity, or his teammate an opportunity to make a play right there, as they're pretty much kind of running a Hail Mary, as really it was the intended receiver. We'll see this time if they kind of mix it up. They kind of had all the receivers here on the short side of the field. We'll see if they kind of spread them out here. And yeah, it looks like they're going to send most of the receivers to the far side of the field this time.
So the final play of the first half. And Bat with time. Lobs it deep down the left side, and it's going to be picked off. On the far side, he's got room to run. Down the far sideline, 1 man to beat. No, he's tripped up as he gets across the 45. And finally brought down the final play of the first half.
And that's Lockridge's 4th interception of the year, and a fitting way to cap off this first half.
We're at the break. Redskins, there's a flag down on the far side of the field. We may have to see what that's about before we go to the break here.
It's going to be a block in the back on the wall puck. They're going to decline it, because if they would accept it, that would extend the half. So by declining it, it does end the first half.
All right, so the first half finished here in Defiance. Redskins with a dominating half. They lead 42-7. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Halftime here at Fred Brown Stadium in Defiance, and so far it has been all Redskins. They lead 42-7. As we take a look at the scoring plays through the first half, Redskins got on the board early with an impressive first possession. They got into the end zone on a 3-yard Schmergy run at the 5:30 mark. Here you see Zach Schmergy powering into the end zone. That capped a 16-play, 60-yard drive that took the first 6 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock.
That second touchdown you see there by Cody Morgan, his first of the game. Great job blowing up the ball by Gonerman and Harrison.
Morgan followed that with another 2-yard touchdown run. That took longer than expected to be called a touchdown. But then Zach Schmerge into the end zone again for his second touchdown run of the night. The Bulldogs finally got into the end zone on a 1-yard Hancock run at the 5:01 mark in the second quarter. But the Redskins were not done. Zach Schmerge's longest touchdown run of the night, a 9-yard scamper around the end into the end zone, and that brought us to our halftime score of 42-7. The Redskins also blocked a punt, Paul, and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown in the first half. So not a lot went well for the Bulldogs in the first half, as these statistics will show you as we look at first half stats.
Yeah, but basically it's been all about Wapak, and even if you look at the total yards, it probably still doesn't tell the story of how dominant Wapak has been. Obviously, Wapak, really dominating, running the ball with 197 yards. Passed the ball pretty well with 83. Defiance, as expected, totally pass dominant with 170 yards, and the total yards obviously favoring the Wapak Redskins. The time of possession, the Bulldogs actually even made this a little bit respectable there towards the end. But however, as expected, the Redskins, dominating that statistic as well.
Well, their first possession took 6 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. That was just their first drive. So, yes, they did dominate that category through the first half. How about a look at individual numbers, Paul?
Individual numbers, just starting with the Redskins. Cody Morgan passing the ball is 3 for 4 for 83 yards. His favorite target has been Keaton Metz, who has 2 catches for 65 yards. Running the ball, Zach Schmerge, the leading rusher in the Western Buckeye League, has 124 yards on 20 carries and 3 touchdowns, as we saw just a little bit before. And Metz chipping in 39 yards on 9 carries. For Defiance, Bat is 12 for 25 for 170 yards and has 1 interception right there at the end. Running the ball has not been much of a strength for Defiance. You see they have negative numbers. Passing the ball, you have Jake Meyer has 4 catches for 72 yards, which actually betters his numbers coming into the game, which is 4 catches for 42 yards. And then Wes Detter is right there as well with 4 catches for 59 yards.
Detter had a big reception early in the game that was the first threat of the night for Defiance, but they've been slowed a little bit by the injury to their leading receiver, Trey Gilliam.
Yeah, obviously you're depending on having your best player available to you throughout the game, and to lose him that early, really kind of set bad things in motion for the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're at halftime here with the Redskins on top by a score of 42-7. And the Redskins look to do more of the same in the second half when we come back. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Welcome to TSC Touchdown Friday. Brought to you by TSC. GA Windsor, Owen Kitchen and Bath, Frost Roofing, and by the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Back here for the start of the second half at Fred Brown Field here in Defiance, and the Redskins will tee it up to kick it away. They lead 42-7. Hancock is back to receive it. He'll field it at the 2-yard line. Moves back across the 15 to the 20 and finds a seam up to the 27-yard line. Paul, an extended halftime because of a delay in the lightning.
Yeah, safety first. Obviously, the rules in the OHSA state that anytime lightning is sighted, the field is cleared of football personnel and 30 seconds is added to the clock. So halftime was extended for a little bit longer time, but everybody is safe now and we're ready to play some football.
First possession of the second half for the Bulldogs. They have a hill to climb here, trailing 42-7. Back to pass, fires it left side, and that one incomplete.
Wapak back into that more of their man-to-man that we saw most of the first half with a free safety. Coach Patterson mixing some things up, trying to give Defiance a different look.
Rillier, the intended target over there on the far side of the field, incomplete. They bunch 3 receivers to the right side now on a 2nd down and 10. Over the middle, cut and then dropped by Rillier. And instance there where he really needed to pull that one in and get some positive yards for this Defiance team that struggled all night.
Yeah, he's right there. Perfect pass, put right where it needed to by Bat. Rillier just, didn't make the catch. Don't know if he heard some footsteps on that little slant, but does bring up a 3rd and 10.
2 receivers to each side. Bat will work out of the shotgun. He's got pressure coming. He escapes to the far side, fires it deep down the left side of the field where it is picked off at the 45-yard line.
That's Lottridge. That's the 2nd interception of the game, and 5th overall for the year. That time Bat was able to elude Stauffer for the sack, and actually, Dan, I think this is where the difference in the rules come in. If you're in college or the pros, you could have just thrown the ball away to the sideline. However, in high school, if you do that, it's intentional grounding. So he just tried to throw the ball deep, and in this case, it ends up being just about as effective as a punt.
Handoff up the middle. And
on the carry, gain of 2, 2nd down.
I think that was Metz with the carry there. He picks up a couple. And Paul, we talked about it during the break. The Redskins, no change in the formula here in the second half. They're going to do exactly what they were doing before.
Yeah, you're going to see more of the same. And Defiance is going to do it with a little bit of a lighter lineup. One of their stalwart defensive linemen, Gabe Rodriguez, is out with a possible concussion that he sustained in the first half. He was an honorable mention WBL defender last year. He's one of their big guys, 6'1", 260. Couple that with their two-way playmaker, Trey Gilliam, leaving the game with an ankle injury. It's been a tough road ahead here for the Bulldogs.
Morgan back to pass, fires it down the left side, in and out of the hands of Metz near the 25-yard line. Boy, he had a step on his defender. He just couldn't haul it in.
He did, and that was going to be 6 points. And Metz developing into a favorite target of Morgan when he gets the opportunity to pass. Had touchdown in his sights and just couldn't bring it in. Nice thrown ball, though.
4th and 6, as you get to see that one again.
Yeah, it easily would have been a touchdown. He had about 3 steps on the defender. Obviously, he'll be thinking about that tonight.
Locke puts the foot into it. His first punt of the night, and a fair catch called for and made inside the 20-yard line at about the 17 by Hancock. And out will come the Defiance offense. So the first stop of the night for the Defiance defense.
Yeah, something to build on, albeit aided by an error on Wapak with the dropped pass, but something to build upon. We'll see if the Bulldogs are able to capitalize here by trying to put a drive together on the long field.
2 receivers to the near side. Bat with a back on his right hip. He rolls out to the near side, looking downfield, and fires behind the back coming out of the backfield. That was intended for Derek Relier, but incomplete.
And just not much there for Bat. He's getting pressure, and the Redskins have been really, mixing things up, especially not as much on the coverages, but really on the pressure. Sometimes they've been only sending 3. In that case, they were actually sending 5 with 2 blitzers on that play.
Two receivers to each side for Bat now on a 2nd down and 10. Has some time to survey the field this time. He will tuck it and run it himself. He doesn't get very far as he gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Stauffer actually scored a touchdown earlier today when he was able to pick up the block punt earlier, able to come from behind to make the play. In that case, Wapak only rushed 3. They played 4 guys man-to-man, had 1 free safety, and then they were covering up with underneath with 2 of the linebackers. So just interesting kind of look at the different defenses that the Redskins are playing tonight.
3rd down and 7 now. On the night, Defiance 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Bat looking downfield. He will fire it, and he'll come up short looking for Meyer on the near sideline. That ball skipped about 5 yards short of his intended target.
And that time Smirgy was really nearing the quarterback Bat from his linebacker position. He was staying there, looking for anyone on crossing patterns. But as soon as Bat started to come up, it was his read to come up and try to make the play.
So with that incompletion, Bat has failed to connect on the last 5 passing attempts.
So this is a 4th and 6 on their own 22-yard line. So looks like they're going to go, Dan.
Yep. 2 receivers to each side. Bat out of the shotgun. He fires it over here to the near side, and it goes in and out of the hands of Meyer. Incomplete, and the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs.
Well, we kind of mentioned at the top of the broadcast that these 2 veteran coaches, Jared Buter for Defiance and then Doug Fry for Wapak, are hyper-aggressive on 4th down, but you know, this is incredibly aggressive going for 4th here. However, it was there. He just the young man just needed to haul the pass in, and it would have moved the chains.
And now a short field for this Redskin offense to work with, and Smirgy making it shorter as he bowls his way down to the 1-yard line.
What a power run right there by Smirgy. At least 4 different Bulldogs had an opportunity to maybe bring the big man down, and he just rumbled and tumbled all the way to almost the 1-yard line. And there's another play. Look at the play. Didn't get too much of a look as the Redskins are right back on the ball.
It looked like Morgan with the keeper that time, and no indication yet that he got in. There it is. 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for Cody Morgan.
So obviously that one's set up on the missed 4th down conversion by the Bulldogs to provide the ultra short field for the shortest scoring drive of the night for the Redskins.
Heingardner out to attempt the extra point. He's been perfect tonight on his first 6 attempts. That one is up, and it is good. So with 9:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter, it's the Redskins 49 and Defiance 7. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
49-7, the Redskins with a dominant performance here on the road in this WBL contest. The contest that pitted 2 teams that came into this game at 3-1 and tied for 2nd place inside the conference. Obviously, the Redskins took this one very seriously and have
goes through the end zone.
laid the wood to the Bulldogs here in this ball game so far. That one rolls into the end zone, and the touchback brings the Bulldogs out with the ball at their own 20-yard line. This is their third possession of the third quarter. They failed to convert on that fourth down, and their last possession would set up a two-play, 22-yard drive for a third rushing touchdown for Cody Morgan tonight.
Which ties him with Smirgy on the night for 3 touchdowns apiece.
Bat.
A fumble.
Over here to Meyer, and that ball stripped away from him. We'll see how they rule that one, but it looks like it's going to be Redskin ball. And it is. Wow.
Cody Morgan has a knack for coming up with the ball on defense as well. That's actually his third fumble recovery of the year. We'll see if we get a replay of that to kind of see exactly what happened. But yet another turnover for the Defiance Bulldogs. I believe that's the third traditional turnover they've had tonight, as well as a couple turnovers on fourth down conversions.
And really disappointing for Defiance because they have had trouble completing passes to start out with, and then when they finally do make a completion, they turn the ball over. Flags come down as Metz goes off the right side, and he'll fall forward to the 32-yard line. We'll see what the flag is about.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an illegal chop block. You can technically, you can chop right off the ball where they threw this flag, unless that person is engaged with another lineman, then that's a big-time safety issue. Chop block is when a lineman or really anybody tries to block below the waist. In high school football, it's permitted to chop block immediately off the snap inside the tackle box, unless, as I said, he is engaged with another blocker.
So with the penalty, that backs the Redskins up to their own to the Defiance 47-yard line. They need to get down to the 27 for a first down. Here's Metz. He takes it to the corner, cuts it back to the middle of the field at the 40, and he'll find space down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line.
And Metz is a nice complement to the smash mouth style of Smirgy. He's much more of an explosive player, as you can see here, changing directions. You know, this isn't the best surface for him. You know, it's kind of a slicker grass surface. But when they play at their home turf field, obviously it really, you know, expounds his speed and quickness.
14 yards on that carry for Metz. And the pass out here to the near side, caught by Posada, up to the 27-yard line. And there's a guy that we haven't had a chance to mention very often on the receiving end, but he hauls one in here.
That's his first catch of the year. However, you know, he's been very, very valuable for this team. You know, I kind of mentioned it on that one touchdown run by Smirgy. He had the block that really sprung him. And he also last week on that 4th and 32 game-clinching drive had basically the block of the night to be able to, you know, finally spring Smirgy for the extra yardage to finish, you know, that particular play.
John Eaton with the carry there. And it looks like a loose ball covered up by the Bulldogs.
So teams kind of exchanging fumbles right there, as we're going to see another here. Eaton with his first carry of the night, kind of holding the ball a little bit high, gets knocked out.
Looks like that was Spencer Bat that put the helmet on that one to knock it loose.
And the Bulldogs, yeah, things start to get a little bit sloppy here in the second half.
Bulldogs will come out now, first down and 10 at their own 20. Bat back to pass. Has some time now, in trouble, gets out to the near side. Flags come down, and Bat will run out of bounds near a first down at the 30-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is about. The official standing over there near the 20-yard line.
It's back where you'd suspect holding, or at least some sort of offensive line penalty, but we'll wait for the official call. Bat did a nice job evading the potential sack right there. It's going to be another illegal chop block against the Defiance Bulldogs.
Well, that penalty is going to push them closer to their own goal line.
And so the Defiance coaching staff just basically just rubbing their head waiting for this night. What else can happen?
So they'll be backed up to their own 10-yard line. First down and 20 coming up for Defiance. They have struggled tonight offensively. They didn't need to hurt themselves with penalties like that one. Bat with time. Lobs it near side over his intended target. He was looking to connect with Hancock, whose defender had fallen down, but the ball a little overthrown.
And another flag down in the backfield.
Flag on the play once again.
Yeah, we'll see what that penalty's about.
Looks like it's hands to the face.
And it's going to go against the Redskins.
So that's going to be a break for the Bulldogs. You know, that's a call you didn't see made about 10 years ago. But it's again, it's a player safety issue. It's a good thing that they're starting to call it. But in the defense, you see called on both sides of the ball where, you know, when you get locked up, sometimes that hand gets underneath that face mask or around the face mask itself, and it really starts to cock the chin and neck back. And it's definitely good to make sure that that's a point of emphasis to be called.
First down 5 after the mark off.
So it'll be from a 1st and 20 to a 1st and 5 now for the Bulldogs. And Bat with time lobs it down the near side of the field, and a flag is going to come down again as there was contact between the defender for the Redskins and Railway on the near side of the field.
And Cameron Luck kind of pleading his case here, but the official was quick to tell him that he was kind of bumping him and prohibiting him from, you know, pursuing the football. So, you know, it's probably a pretty good call right there by the officials. It's tough when you're on that island sometimes, but you know, you got to find a way to keep your hands off, or at least off enough to where it's not flagged.
Yeah, you got to kind of ride low in your chair on that one.
Penalty will mark it off and make it a first down for the Bulldogs from their own 40.
So the ball at the 40-yard line. Bat under all kinds of heat. Still on his feet, and he lost the ball, and it's going to be covered by the Redskins at the 25. That play went from bad to worse.
Yes, it did. He was able to evade a couple defenders. Nick Miller finally was able to catch up to him, knocked the ball loose, and I believe Corey Crawford, the big sophomore, jumped on top of it for, I believe it was at the 4th turnover. As you can see here, Bat getting pressure right off the bat, is able to evade a couple guys, I think Kirby and Shane line. But again, Miller comes in, knocks the ball loose, and what another fortuitous bounce for the Redskins.
Run up the middle of the field, down to the 21-yard line. I think that was Metz on the carry.
Actually, I believe that was Eaton.
Eaton, you're right. Yeah.
Which I kind of like that. Eaton, the young man who fumbled the last series, Coach Fry decided, hey, young man, we'll give you the ball right back again, and we have confidence in you, and you know, he looked to deliver.
This time Metz looking for the corner. He puts the head down and gets inside the 20-yard line down to the 19.
And that time Hancock was able to kind of effectively sniff that play out from kind of that strong safety position. It's going to bring up with about a 3rd and 5.
Not something you see a lot from Metz, you know, lowering the shoulder like that, but he did a fair job there, picking up a couple of yards. 2 receivers, 1 to each side on a 3rd down and 4. Morgan fires right side, and it is caught by Posada for a first down.
Yeah, Posada's 2nd catch in this quarter, again, 2nd of the year as well. This time it's a big one as it moves the chains just on the little hitch pattern. So the Redskins able to convert on the first down, and you know, and kind of a surprise on the 3rd and medium, doing it off the pass.
Morgan with the pitch to Eaton. He goes to the right side, finds the corner, and there he's met by a couple of dogs as he goes down after a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
It looks like their leading tackler, Zach Hale, leading the charge right there to keep that to a short gain.
2nd down and 8 coming up now as we close in on 5 minutes to play 3rd quarter. Morgan will bring him to the line. He has two receivers. Metz lines up as a wide out to the left side. Posada wide to the right. Tight end, and now Morgan will run it himself. And he goes forward to about the 10-yard line. Gain of a couple on the play.
Yeah, it looked like actually when he first stepped up that he's going to run that for big yardage, but credit to Defiance defense for quickly collapsing down and limiting that to the very short gain. Bring up a third and about 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Well, they threw the ball on 3rd and 4 last time and converted to the 3rd down. They're 5 of 10 on 3rd down conversions tonight of the Redskins.
Going to that shotgun package here.
Morgan looking right side, and his pass intended for Posada incomplete at the 5-yard line. 4th down coming up.
I actually like that no call right there. Colton Relier actually did bump Posada on his way to the ball, but he was actually making a pass to the ball himself. So even though there's contact, I'm pretty glad that there's no call there. And it looks like Coach Fry is going to send Bailey Heingardner out to attempt only a 2nd field goal attempt of the season. Last week he tried about a 42-yarder against Salina. It was right on line, just a little bit short.
This will be a 27-yarder.
Morgan to hold, Heingardner to kick.
Hold is down. The kick by Heingardner is up, and it is good.
Field goal is up and good.
So with 4:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Redskins add to their lead. They now lead the Bulldogs by a score of 52-7. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
4:06 remaining 3rd quarter. The Redskins with a commanding 52-7 lead. They have been in control of this one since their opening possession. On their opening drive, Paul, 16 plays, 60 yards, and over 6 minutes of time ticked off the clock before Defiance even touched the ball.
Yeah, you can really say that Wampak's had the eye of the tiger so far tonight, and things have really gone their way.
This one will be fielded by Hancock inside the 5-yard line. He brings it to the near side of the field across the 20. He is hit, stays on his feet up to the 30-yard line, and will go out of bounds at the 32.
Yeah, good looking return there by Hancock. If you remember, back in the first half, he fumbled the ball, which led to, I believe, the 2nd touchdown of the Redskins. But he is amongst the lead leaguers in kickoff returns, as he showed why right there.
Yeah, Defiance with 3 fumbles already tonight.
Ball 5 on the 32, 1st and 10, Bulldogs.
So some of the better field position, starting field position for the Bulldogs on this drive as they start out at their own 32. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the near side right. Bat rolls out this way, looking downfield. He lobs it back to the other side, and it's caught up across the 35 to the 40 to the 45, and that's where the trip ends for Derek Relier.
Nicely executed screen pass right there. It's interesting watching defensive end Corey Crawford start to pursue, then kind of realize, uh-oh, this is going to be a screen. But, you know, nice job of Defiance with Relier continuing out. Sometimes you would teams stop that screen guy at a certain spot. With him continuing to go, he got enough separation for Crawford to be able to make the big play.
13 yards. Here's a pitch. to the motion man coming across to the near side. He's going to be shut down. Damon Elford, the junior, on the carry. He's going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage.
Jacob Hartman comes up with a big stop, and we're going to count that probably as a tackle for loss, as he might have lost about a half a yard on that play.
Got well strung out by the Wapak defense.
So far, the Defiance Bulldogs showing no semblance of a running game. And again, they're not very strong running the ball, but, you know, they're still in negative yardage as a team.
Bat with 2 receivers to each side. He has a back in the backfield with him. He has time looking. Now some pressure. He comes out to the near side, and he's going to run it himself. Takes the hit. Plows upfield. He'll get the first down and be run out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So Bat maybe taking out some frustration there as he lowered the shoulder.
Yeah, and that's something you don't normally see at the higher level on Saturdays and Sundays with your quarterbacks in college and the NFL. But Pat put his shoulder down on Hartman, and you know, we're going to see this replay very quickly. You know, obviously, nice scramble right here, and look at this collision as we go back to live action.
He scrambled for 16 yards, and he runs again here to the far side. Now stops, fires it upfield, off the hands of Meyer, incomplete.
Well, it wouldn't have been the easiest catch in the world, but, you know, given the situation with Gilliam going down and you're down a sizable amount, you know, you'd really like to have your receivers kind of help you out at times, because things aren't going to be perfect against this, you know, tough Wapak defense, and you'd like your receivers to try to, you know, make those catches, make things a little bit easier for you.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the near side right. Bat fires it near side, and it's caught. Hancock wrestled out of bounds at the 35 after a gain of 5 yards.
Henderson did a really nice job in his man-to-man coverage and limiting that pass catch to, you know, a short 5-yard gain. You know, and truthfully, you know, good passing games are going to connect. And one of the things that you can help to limit those is to tackle them immediately so that they don't get a lot of yards after catch.
3rd down and 5 coming up. Ball at the Redskin 35-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Bat with time, fires it left side, and it is caught short of the first down. Hauled in over there by Wes Detter.
It's going to be about a yard short, as you mentioned, and this offense really isn't built for short yardage execution. There's no doubt Coach Jared Beauty is going to go for this. Be interesting to see what he kind of throws out there as a play call.
4th down and 1. Their pass plays have not been automatic, and their run plays have been near non-existent. But Bat is going to keep it himself, and he is going to stretch forward, but he is going to be at least a yard short of the first down.
Isaac Kirby there to finally make the play. Bat looking to scramble for the first down and was unable to do it, and Bulldogs are going to turn it over once again on downs.
Now 1 of 3 on 4th down conversions. You look at the Redskins on the other side. I'm sorry, 1 of 4. Redskins on the other side, 3 for 3 on 4th down.
Yeah, we knew we'd see a lot of 4th down attempts with these coaches, but again, just their style compared to Wapak, who would thrive on a 4th and short. You know, Defiance just isn't the type that's going to line it up and be able to convert that 4th down and short.
Short run there.
Gain of a yard. 2nd down 9.
And a gain of a yard on first down. I believe that was Cockrell with the carry there.
Hey, seeing Coach Fry starting to kind of work some guys in, get some plays. Obviously, it's still the ones out there for their offense, but we've seen Cockrell out there now. We've seen Eaton get in there. Some different guys getting some looks.
Morgan to the right side, caught by Posada, who shakes off the first tackler, and then is upended by Hancock near the first down marker. He'll fall forward to the 45 and pick up the first down. So his 3rd reception on the night.
Yeah, Coach Fry, you know, reward Posada for, you know, up to this point, has been a very, very wide blocker for this team. You know, now as you mentioned, having his 3rd reception and looking pretty good doing it.
Morgan under center on a 1st and 10. Handoff right side. And up across midfield to the 46-yard line. Yeah, that was Eaton with the carry.
Yeah, and you really got to credit the right side of that line. Just got tons and tons of movement on that play for Eaton. You know, he's just kind of biding his time behind the right side of that line for that big 8-yard gain.
Beside it wide to the right, Morgan under center on a 2nd down and short. Not much there off the right side. Going to bring up a 3rd down for the Redskins as Cockrell got back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more. And that will likely be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
And again, that attacking defense by Zach Morris.
We will wrap up 3 quarters of play here in Defiance with the Redskins on top, 52-7. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
And the Defiance Bulldogs 7.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Back here for the start of the final frame, 52-7 in favor of the Redskins, and they have the ball in Defiance territory at the 46-yard line. Morgan going to keep it himself, and he gets back to the line of, well, he got maybe a yard on the play. It'll be close to the 1st down.
Yeah, and it looked like there's kind of a busted play right there. I don't know if he's supposed to hand it off or do a quick pitch, but either way, the timing was off, and it looked like Cody just decided, hey, the safest thing to do, when in doubt, just tuck it and follow up the hole where the play was supposed to be run. In this case, it was just enough to move the chains.
So Morgan will bring it to the line. Handoff. And it was Locke trying to get to the corner. He's shut down.
Again, the second time we've kind of seen this where the running back just didn't read what the linemen were doing. The lineman was kicking out the defender in that case, and Locke tried to run outside that anyway. You know, whenever you see, you know, your lineman's backside, you know, you don't try to run around that. You try to cut off of that. And if he would have just held upfield, he at least would have picked up some yardage.
So with the loss on the play, brings up a 2nd down and 11, ball spotted at the 47-yard line. And the handoff to Cockrell off the left side. He's stopped up, but he gets up to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 2. Substitution at the quarterback spot, Paul.
Yeah, we have number 2, Aaron Huffman, 6'3", good-looking sophomore, very athletic. We saw him actually throw a touchdown pass in the 4th quarter against Kenton.
And he does most of his playing, or at least to this point in the season, has been at the wideout spot. But he gets in here as the quarterback here in the 4th quarter. He rolls out to the left. Looking downfield, he's going to tuck it and run. He'll dive forward for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication right there. Andrew Loudon at guard, you know, that was a run-pass option with the bootleg. You know, Huffman needs to say run, 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 and that would tell his lineman, hey, you're allowed to go downfield and get that block. Because he didn't do that, his lineman kind of stayed back, and that allowed Defiance to come up and make the play.
With the stop, it brings up a 4th and 8 and a punt situation for the Redskins as Locke stands at his own 45-yard line, puts the foot into it. Hancock back to look at it, and it is going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. You know, Paul, during the halftime break, there was a young man in the press box below us, a member of the band, and he asked a young lady to go to homecoming with him, and I believe her name was Jessie. She said yes. So they're going to be going. They're going to be going to homecoming together.
Some people will say that's kind of a preppy thing to do, but you know, it's kind of well received. And looks like that young man found a date.
Good for him. He goes to the head of the class for that move. Matt out there. Pass incomplete over here on the near side. He was looking for Brady Williams, and that one incomplete.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we might be seeing as this quarter kind of goes on, you know, some younger guys getting some playing time. You know, Defiance seems to still have most of their starters out there, and at least defensively, Wapak has kind of a mix of ones and twos out there.
Two receivers to each side. Bat with some time rolls out to the near side, fires it down the far side. It is off the hands of Williams and incomplete. Good diving effort by Williams, but he couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, he was just a little bit behind Cameron Locke out there. You know, nice looking ball. Again, Defiance, if they really wanted to be in this game without Gilliam out there, you know, they really need to kind of come up with almost all of those plays possible. But obviously, you know, just so early in the game, they just got buried so quickly.
Well, I was mistaken. That young lady's name was Lisa. Three receivers to the right. Bat ran out of time. He's got pressure now. He rolls out to the far side, still looking for help. He fires it down the right side and incomplete. Elford was over there in the area, as was Rillier, but I'm not sure which one he was intending that one to go to.
Yeah, Micah Fife actually was right there potentially to make the play for the Redskins in the backfield, but Bat was able to evade him and at least get the ball to avoid a loss.
Well, 4th down and 10 coming up. And it looks like the Bulldogs will kick it away.
We're actually going to see a different punter here for Defiance. If you remember earlier on, Gabe Rodriguez, the normal punter, it was injured in the first half.
Yeah, our word is that he may have suffered from a concussion. So a shorter kick, it will be covered over there by Hancock at the 48-yard line on the Defiance side of the field. So the Redskins will have outstanding field position again.
Just recognize who that punter was. Number 82, Zarek Barnhorst, a 6'3" sophomore here for the Bulldogs. And, very good field position here for the Redskins as you know, Coach Fry gets to get an extended look at some of you know, the players of the future for the Redskins.
Well, obviously the injury to Gilliam early in the game has affected the passing game for the Bulldogs here tonight, and Bat 16 of 40 on the night throwing the ball.
Cockrell with a nice hard run right there. You know, you're kind of used to seeing the trap play worked out well, you know, with Smirgy, but it works just as well here for you know, the twos as well. And it looks like they're going against primarily the ones of Defiance.
Ball to the 34-yard line. $15 yards on the carry for Cockrell. He will take the handoff again and dives forward for a gain of a couple.
And Cockrell has had some carries coming into this game. He had 8 carries for 37 yards coming into this game. So he has had some experience carrying the ball into the lights, and as you mentioned in the first half, was able to get some play on the defensive side of the ball as well.
One receiver wide to the near side right. And the handoff will go to the opposite side of the field. Big carry over there to the far side. Looks like a solid gain for Dylan Cool, yeah. Sorry, I believe it's Keel. May have made me mispronounce that.
Yeah.
We'll get a little deeper into the depth charts, and I'm not as familiar. So.
We'll see this last play by Keel. Had a lot of room there on the left-hand side, come just short of a first down.
Up the middle on a 3rd down and 1.
Hoffman with the football on the quarterback keep.
And Hoffman, again, on the quarterback sneak, we've seen that a lot tonight. Obviously, we've seen Cody Morgan score a few touchdowns on it. Coach Fry has been known for that over the years, running a lot of quarterback sneak on short yardage. Hadn't seen that the first 4 weeks of the season. Then we saw it last week for the first time against Salina, and then it's just it's not a high stakes weapon, but it's something that you definitely have to count for. And a nice hit right there.
Well, he turned him back. It was Miracle on the carry.
And then Spencer Batt with the big hit.
Yeah.
We see the replay right here. You can see him right there. I mean, face mask to face mask, which is perfectly legal. As long as you don't hit with the crown of your helmet, it's definitely not a foul. Nice job seeing what you hit.
2nd down and 12 coming up now. Pitts, the wide receiver, to the far side of the field. Huffman's pass incomplete, drops in between Miracle and Pitts on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to go for Miracle, and Huffman was telling him, hey, I would expect you to kind of release outside, and that's where he tried to intend. So, these guys don't get a whole lot of reps necessarily together, at least not at the varsity level. Just some things for them to work out.
So with the different backs they've worked into the backfield tonight, and here's Cockrell with the carry. He gets spun around on the near side of the field to the 24. 11 different players have carried the ball now for the Redskins through this ball game. Hey, Paul, there's a lot of different ways to connect with Game Face Ohio, and one of those ways is through Facebook. And when we get a chance, we'll show you the way to get connected with us via Facebook.
Hey, look, Bailey Heingardner going to attempt a 40-yard field goal, looks like here.
Morgan with the hold. Heingardner puts the foot into it, but it is wide to the left. It looked like it had the distance, though.
Yeah, it definitely had the distance, but you saw right off the bat that it looked like it was going to be hooking to the left a little bit. But, definitely, the soccer stand-up, Bailey Heingardner, in this type of situation, you never know in a close game where you want to see, can he make that? You're obviously too close to punt the ball, and, really going for it on 4th and 8 there is not really enough. So, obviously, a smart decision by the Redskins brass to try to see if, their field goal kicker can make it from there.
Back out there as the Redskins give the ball back over to the Bulldogs, and he completes the pass over to the near side, and that is Detter who makes the reception.
Ethan Good able to pull him out of bounds.
That's 7 yards on that hookup. Two receivers to each side as Bat will again work out of the shotgun. He has time, lobs it to the right side, and caught over there on the far side across midfield to the 40, down inside the 40 to the 35-yard line, and I believe that was Nate Porter.
Clear into
no Williams over there.
Ball spotted on the 35.
Yep, Brady Williams on that catch, and Sada let him get behind a little bit, and a big play for the Bulldog offense.
6 minutes to play in this one. 38 yards on the connection from Bat to Williams. They have been limited in their big plays so far tonight. Here's a handoff. And not much there off the left side, maybe a yard on the carry. And I believe that was Relier with the carry.
Mike Fife coming up there to make the play there for the Redskins.
Handoff to Relier.
So, Dan, we came in here, expecting obviously a very, very tight and high-scoring battle. Obviously the way things started and, the injuries that the Bulldogs suffered has led to that battle that we expected. But remember, this is two teams tied for second place coming into the game here in the Western Buckeye League. It was also featuring two of the top 3 scoring offenses in the Western Buckeye League, and also two teams that were tied for 4th in defense. So, we had every expectation that this was going to be, a highly contested game. Both teams at this time, if the playoffs would start, would have qualified for postseason action. And this obviously win for the Wapakoneta Redskins is just going to do nothing but bolster their computer point resume. The Defiance Bulldogs are going to see a valuable playoff opportunity points slip away.
Now the injury to Gilliam, and we hope that he's able to recover from that. It clearly changed the scope of this game, and this ball incomplete off the hands of Damian Elford, who looked like he had a touchdown if he was able to grab that one.
Yeah, and actually it bounced off, and he started to kind of fret over not making that catch right away, and at least from this angle up here, he might have been able to still kind of catch on the ricochet. Obviously, he didn't watch the Browns game last night and see Josh Gordon kind of stick with that one ball that he fumbled around but held on for the touchdown.
3 receivers to the right. They put a man in motion to the near side of the field. Bat. Keep it himself. He runs right up the middle across the 30. And he powers his way over the 25 down at the 22-yard line. Boy, he just dropped the shoulder again.
Yeah, well, this time he had a little size advantage over Nate Alsace. He's only 5'8", 135 sophomore, but he still, to his credit, was able to take him down with that contact.
He rolls out to the near side on a 1st down and 10 from the 22-yard line. He's going to slip and fall back to the 33. So a big loss on that play as Bat tried to set up and lost his footing.
And we're going to credit number 90, Drayden Howell, with that sack right there, and he should be very excited with that sack right there. But he just kind of hustled back to his huddle and get ready for the next play.
2nd down, 21.
2 receivers wide to the right. Bat looks that way, fires, caught by Williams. He cuts up the middle of the field, gets down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. He's going to be shy of the original line of scrimmage. So a 3rd down and long coming up.
Given the game conditions, this is obviously 4-down territory here for the Bulldogs.
Now a 3rd down and 16. They have struggled all night on 3rd down. Bat with time, fires it out to the right, and it's swatted away on the far side of the field. Nice play over there by Lottridge.
I actually think that's a Court Miracle.
Excuse me.
Number 3 right there. The ball hung up just long enough in the air, and we're going to see here on replay, hung up just long enough for him to be able to come over and make the play right at the last second, because Hancock was there. A little bit longer pass, and he would have been able to make that catch potentially for the touchdown.
So a 4th down and 16. Defiance is 2 for 5 rather, on 4th down. Bat with time, lobs it over the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught by Detter, but right at the original line of scrimmage. And the Bulldog offense will have to check out of this game. 3:16 left in this game. And Redskins really, from the opening seconds of this game, have been in control.
Yeah, fortunately for a lot of the fans here tonight, this game was just never in doubt. After about the first, 6 minutes of the ball game, quite frankly, aided by, a fumble and an unstoppable offense in the first half for the Redskins. They never really looked back, and with the exception of, that Week 2 game against obviously a very, very good Kenton team, the Redskins have looked pretty good all year long. And when you look ahead to their schedule, next week they play at Ottawa Glandorf. We should mention that we are not carrying that game next week. But that's going to look to be another big showdown for them. They also still have to play Auglaize County rivals St. Mary's. Then they'll travel to Agra Stadium over in Van Wert County against the Cougars. And then finish the season with another local rival, the Shawnee Indians.
Cockrell with the last 2 carries picks up a total of 4 yards, brings up a 3rd down and 6. Here's the handoff, and stopped in the backfield is Keel, as he is dropped short of the line of scrimmage and a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, and Seth Meyer was able to come up and make the play right there.
On the carry. 4th down, 8.
He's got plans tomorrow night, is my understanding. It's a punt attempt coming up.
Good punt.
Kick is away. That one will hit inside the 45 and roll down inside the 35, where it'll be down by the Redskins. And the Bulldog offense will get another crack at it. Just 1:38 left in this game. Paul, you said our game, we will not be doing next week's game at OG. Our next broadcast then is the St. Mary's game the following week. And those games are available the night of the game at 11 o'clock on TSC, and then on Sunday morning available on Fox Lima at 10 a.m.
It's also available on the website, GameFaceOhio.com, and our YouTube channel.
New quarterback in there for the Bulldogs. And there you can see our upcoming broadcast, St. Mary's at Wapak, October 18th. And like I said, 11 p.m.
Just a minute, that's the broadcast time. Obviously, kickoff, for those of you who plan on attending the game, is still at 7:30.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit late there if we get there at 11.
And again, that's the broadcast time for the Game Face Ohio channel on TSC. For those of you watching on Fox Lima all year long, that's at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Your lead-in to NFL football pregame on Fox.
Handoff, and to the near side, across the 35 up to the 37 is Meyer. We also have an upcoming event in the Lima area, the Iron Circle Mixed Martial Arts event coming up on Saturday, November 16th. Tickets for that event are on sale at the Lima Civic Center box office, or you can see right there that they are also available online at the website you see there. There's the phone number for the box office.
Yeah, and MMA growing in popularity. Your chance to see it here locally.
Back to pass is Frederick. He fires it down the near side, and it's caught. A flag comes down after the catch made by Spencer Batt.
And it might actually be offensive right there. I think he may have pushed off offensively to get open.
And that doesn't look like they're going to call it against the Redskins.
Wouldn't be the first time I've disagreed with an official.
Right.
And it's probably the right call, too, as well. Anyway, Dan, you had something to add about that MMA event?
Oh, well, our stat guy, A.C. Lisi, was showing me some MMA moves that he's picked up through the years. Fortunately, he didn't connect on any of them. Frederick up the middle of the field. He's going to carry it to the near side of the field, across the 10, and wrestle down inside the 5 of the 3-yard line.
That's very close to almost the first rushing touchdown of the year for the Bulldogs.
Here's another look at it. And he goes out of bounds there. Frederick is a freshman, 5'11", 165. Getting his playing time. Again, that MMA event, the Iron Circle, at the Lima Civic Center is November 16th.
First and goal from the 3.
Frederick back to pass, fires left side, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Good effort there defensively by Ethan Good to try and get that one. So that scamper by Frederick finally gets the Bulldogs into positive yards rushing, Paul.
Again, definitely not their strength coming into the game, but you'd think that just for a little bit of balance that, they try to eke out, a few runs more here and there.
Frederick bobbles the snap, but he's able to get it and throws it out to the near side, still loose on the field. And it will finally be corralled by Defiance.
And that's going to be a fitting last play of the game, where they're on the precipice of potentially doing something good, but fumbled the snap, threw it backwards, lost a lot of yardage for the Bulldogs, and that will end the game for tonight's game.
Well, the Redskins come in here and dominate Defiance on their home field, coming away with a 52-7 victory over the Bulldogs. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
There's your final score. The Redskins with a dominant performance on the road by a final score of 52-7. And Paul, they were in control from the get-go. We talked about that opening drive, 16 plays, 60 yards, 6 minutes, 24 seconds, and they didn't let up after that.
Yeah, pretty much a dominating performance. And, you know, this game was over in the first half where, you know, the Redskins were just able to really, you know, dominate both sides of the ball. Obviously, you know, a couple injuries on Defiance with Rodriguez and Gilliam. That, you know, we hope both those young men are healthy and get back very soon. But, you know, just things snowballed out of control for the Bulldogs, and the Redskins, you know, continued their hold on second place in the Western Buckeye League, and they really firmed their hold in the potential playoffs down the road. Right.
Team stats kind of bear out what we've said as far as we look at team stats, kind of bear out the dominance that the Redskins were able to control in this game.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they might not tell the whole tale because, again, the passing yards kind of skew it a little bit with 292 passing yards on the game for Defiance. Obviously, most of the attack for the Redskins are on the ground with 293 rushing yards. Surprising 105 through the air for nearly 400 yards of total yardage. A big number that kind of got really inflated in that second half is turnovers. Defiance finishes with 5 turnovers, Walpock with only 1, and throw in a blocked kick for a touchdown, a couple turnovers on downs, and obviously that just adds to more bad news for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the turnovers were key in setting up scoring for the Redskins. And as we take a look at individual statistics, Paul, we'll look at the scoring that the Redskins were able to put together here through this ball game, and they did it early and often.
Yeah, we'll start with some individual stats here with Walpock initially. Cody Morgan was 6 for 9 passing, very efficient, 105 yards passing. His top targets were Posada actually with 3 catches, Metz with 2 catches for 65 yards. Rushing, Zach Smergy leading the way. Western Buckeye League's leading rusher. Only 22 catches, 22 rushes for 146 yards and 3 touchdowns. Metz had 57 yards. Cockrell had 27 yards. Morgan only had 16 yards, but 3 touchdowns for the Redskins. Over to Defiance, they're actually led rushing by freshman Braden Frederick, just right there at the end, had a 28-yard run. Other than that, not a whole lot going on positively for the Defiance Bulldogs. Bat was 20 of 47 passing the ball, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but did have 260 yards passing. Detter was top target for 7 catches for 76 yards. Meyer had 84 yards on 5 catches.
So some impressive performances by the Redskins here tonight. As you see, Cody Morgan diving into the end zone for one of his 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight. Defiance will be on the road at St. Mary's next week. The Redskins will be at Ottawa-Glandorf, and we will not have that ball game for you because we will not be broadcasting that one. But the following week we'll have the Redskins when they travel, or excuse me, when St. Mary's comes into Wapakoneta, and we'll have that game for you the following week. So we want to thank all the crew and the guys running the cameras. They were out in the rain again tonight. The guys back in the RV doing a great job as well. AJ, thanks for taking care of our stats over there tonight. And we want to thank all of you for joining us. For Paul Sadler, I'm Dan Hirn. You've been watching the Redskins dismantle the Defiance Bulldogs by a final score of 52-7. And the Redskins improve to a record of 5-1 and 4-1 inside conference play. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You've been watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.